Gay marriage is one issue, but equal rights for all American citizens is another. There is legislation in Washington that would essentially apply the same tenets that we have in Louisville in our fairness ordinance to federal law. Would you support that?
I'm not a big fan of adding more federal discrimination laws, but and I say that with all due respect to on this particular issue. I have friends, I have family who are affected by this issue, and one of the things that bothers me is how this issue is extremely polarizing and divisive, and that if you, for example, have a traditional marriage view like mine, some people automatically label you as being homophobic, and I think that's ridiculous. Similarly on the right, I think that the people who will label or think of somebody who is a gay or lesbian or bisexual merely because of that orientation casts a judgment or aspersion upon them, I think they're wrong too. So it's my approach is, while I don't support gay marriage, I don't support gay bashing from the right. And
well, should an employer have the ability to refuse to hire someone or refuse to promote someone or to decide to fire someone simply because of their sexual orientation?
For now, I'm comfortable with letting cities like Louisville make their own laws.
So if a city doesn't, then the answer is yes, they are free to do that.
Yeah, I'm not supportive of federal law on this issue, but I'm also not supportive of a federal law that prohibits that would overturn what Louisville's done.
Would you support repealing federal laws that prohibit discrimination on the basis of race or gender or religion?
No.
So how
What's
come
the difference?
Some people get it and others don't?
I don't support. I think this is a different situation.
Why?
I think that the orientation is not the same.
Do you think it's chosen?
I think there's. I think there is a biological component to this, but I also think there's a religious element to all sides of this, and it's just something I'm not prepared to support at the federal level.
So you don't see it as a civil rights issue?
At this point, no.
How would you have voted in 1964 if you'd been a member of the Senate and the Civil Rights Act had come before you? There were similar arguments made at that time that the state should decide these things rather than the federal.
Yeah, I would have voted for it.
Why?
It was the right. It was the right thing to do.
But it's not the right thing to do for gay citizens.
Conventional wisdom tends to hold that the Republican primary is fought